Welcome to Fortune Cookies Tarot, and this is the 31 Days of Tarot. We are up to day 19. So the question for today is, what tarot card do you look for the most when you get a new deck? Now, my son and I both like to check out the death card because the death card usually kind of sets the pace for, how intense the deck is. In one of my teaching videos, I did tell you all that my favorite pairing is the Lovers and the Devil because they are traditionally the same card with a bit of a different vibe. So just to recap on this, the Lovers card is about making choices, unions, putting a business together, getting married, getting in a relationship, starting a new friendship, those sorts of things. And the Devil card is all about hitching your cart to something that may not be good for you. Now, this is our traditional Rider Waite depiction. Very, very clear imagery here. It is the same card again. Just checking that out. But I did pull out some other decks so you can see how the different imagery will change the vibe of the deck for you, make you feel a little bit different. Some of them don't stick with the format of the same imagery, but different flavor to it. This is the mini Llewellyn that I travel with all the time. So this is, sticking with that same Rider Waite concept of the same card, but just a little bit of a different vibe to it. Let's go into the Ciro Marquetti Grand Luxe Tarot. And his is a little bit different. I personally really like this Devil card because that Devil looks like Gary Oldman, and I love Gary Oldman. So it does look like him in, I guess it's Bram Stoker's Dracula. But I do like it because the Devil in this card is really larger than life. It's still sticking with the same concept as the Rider Waite, where the Devil is a bit larger, ruling over the individuals. This one, you can really get a sense of how those bad choices, the little devil on your shoulder, is taking over. Now, the Lovers card is coming together and unions. I don't love the birdies on it. I do prefer having the angel on there. It does give us more of a sense of this is a blessing of a union. Again, the imagery is beautiful. It conveys a really clear message. The dude does look like Ashton Kutcher, though, if you ask me. So, but a little bit of a different vibe to this deck. This is going to, take you in a little bit of a different direction. And I apologize. I broke my thumbnail, and I know you're all looking at my crazy thumbnail. Could not get in to get my nails done. Moving on to the Haunted Mansion Tarot. The Devil and the Lovers card, a little bit different here. We still have the Angel, but the Lovers, there's an introduction of that third party. So I do a class when I teach on cocktail partying your deck, getting to know your deck, getting the vibe for it. I also do a spread for an interview your deck so you can get an idea of how that deck is going to read best for you or what topics that deck will read well for. This one, the Lovers card, there's a little bit of a different vibe in there. It's not so much just coming together, just being a part of a union, but there's an introduction of a third party there that's a little uncomfortable. So, the traditional meaning of this deck takes on a little bit of a different flavor for me when I read and I get the Lovers card. Now, the Devil, look at that mistress. I want to be her every day of my life. I love those wings. I've always wanted wings. I don't want to be the Devil, but holy crow, she looks amazing. So the feeling that you get from this card is that there's something of bad choices in perpetuity. The fact that our two individuals that are usually depicted as a naked man and woman are skeletons, they are naked to the nth degree, but there's also some in perpetuity, perpetual, really being locked into that. So if this is, and I do get the devil when people have addiction issues or when there's some bad choices going on, this really lets us know that those choices are locked in. Like maybe there isn't a break from that. Maybe we're not pulling away from that as much as we would like to. Maybe the individual that we're reading for is really, really committed to the addictions or the bad choices, the bad behavior. So a little bit of a different flavor. Now that is the Dark Mansion Tarot, which is a pretty puckish deck. I always describe it as puckish. It reads very fun, and it's a very neat deck. I do like it very much. But that devil card is a little bit different from the devil card over here, which may be a warning to break some of those chains and get out of those addictions. So moving on, we have the Golden Tarot, which those of you know, I was starting to read all my royal readings with this deck because it just was kind of leaning that way. Gotten away from it a little bit, but and that's okay. I have way too many decks, and I try and, mix them up as much as possible and keep the energy fresh on all of them. So this goes back to the traditional Rider Waite concept of artwork, where we have the devil is larger, the angel's a little bit smaller, a little bit more of a subtle influence on our two naked individuals. I apologize if you're offended by the nudity on this because it is pretty graphic. But, we do see more emotion in the torment of the two individuals in the devil card, and we see more of the subtlety of that angel blessing in there. So it frees up the free will of the individuals in the Lover's card, and in the Devil's card it really does show you that torment. So the language of tarot is very, very clear in these cards, and you really can convey that message to them. I'm sorry, I'm moving my hand and making the camera blur. So now this deck is the Cthulhu Vault. I have not gotten to get to know this deck really, really well, but my husband and I are big fans of Cthulhu memes. We have a Cthulhu Christmas ornament on our tree that we took down just on Little Christmas. So I said I got to get this deck. The rest of the deck is actually really cool. If you look, there's the Chariot card, and it's got, a vintage vehicle and Cthulhu or some kind of crazy monster behind it. It's a bit of a doom and gloom deck, but I haven't interviewed it yet. I really haven't broken it out. But the Devil card is very, very invasive. That card is actually coming into your space, and it's really digging into you. And the Lovers is just this one individual. So it's a little bit different for me. I do need to do some work on it, but that is another look at that. Now, this is a deck that I'm going to showcase during the 31 Days of Tarot, and it is the Housewives Tarot, and I love this deck. I'm not going to show you too much, but it is these kitschy, adorable images, and it is fun when I do readings with this deck because the booklet that comes with it is hilarious. I do read the some of the details from the booklet to my clients. It's so much fun. I don't want to say it's more of a novelty deck. It's really not. It's a regular tarot deck like every other one, but you can really get a sense of the good nature of this deck from the Lovers and the Devil's card. So that is some details. That's really, I like to look at the Death card when I'm trying to get an idea of how a deck's going to read, but I also look at that Lovers and Devils pairing because I'm partial to the traditional imagery and the mirroring of the two cards, just so that, it balances out. I feel like it scratches the OCD itch that I have. But that's some more interesting stuff. I will put some links. I do have an Amazon affiliate link, and I'll put the links below. So if you do want to order any of these cards, you can do it through the affiliate link. I do get a portion of fees if you do that. You don't have to order through there, but if you do, great. I don't want to keep any of my decks secret. A lot of people like to keep their deck secret, and it's a super rare deck. As far as I know, none of the decks are really super rare. This Dark Mansion Tarot was super rare when I got it, and I paid a bunch of money for it, and now you can get it for like $20. So there it is. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Moving on, I'll see you tomorrow for day 20. We're almost done with the 31 days of tarot. Thanks for sticking with me. Have a great day.